Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the TNG Design Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about what is corporate branding. And there are two specific things I want to make sure that we are focusing on when it does come to corporate branding, especially in the corporate space. Two specific things that need to be touched on, need to be put out there, need to be shared community-based or even company-wide to be sure that the corporate branding aspect gets carried all the way through, especially to help the customer's journey to be continued therein and thereout. So folks, before you get stuck into this video, please make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because I want to make sure that you do not miss out on any videos that I go ahead and upload. Equally, go ahead and click on that little ding bell so you also get reminded when a new video comes out. And before you go, make sure you stick around to the very, very, very end, because as always, I've got a super cool gift to be able to share with you, and I want to make sure that you really take it in, because it's going to be powerful for you, your business, and especially when you're in the corporate space too. Anyway, folks, let's get stuck into it. So, okay, as I said, we're going to be talking about corporate branding. What is corporate branding? Now, as you know, branding in general, it is not your logo. It is not just your website. It is not just your flyers, your roller banners, your posters. It is more than that, right? Those are the outcomes of what your brand is about. And what I mean by that is that your brand is essentially all about the personality of who you are as a business, right? Especially that. And equally, it encompasses your values, your vision, your purpose. You know, I always talk about your VPV. That's the core or even the foundation of any brand, right? And when it comes to corporate branding, what is corporate branding? Understanding that part, you really, really home in on these two specific things. And they, as I said before, will be what will be growing on top of the foundation. And they will be taking your customer through that journey. They will be actually going company wide. They will be actually be used constantly and consistently. And I think that's probably the tie that ties us all together as well, that consistency factor. They're going to be the consistency factor that will actually remain through the functioning of your corporate space, for sure. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to make sure that you are always thinking, especially when it comes to branding in the corporate space, you always got to think about what is the vision. So what is the vision? The vision of your company, the vision of what your brand, your business brand is about. Remember, not your personal brand, but your business brand, because the business brand is always going to be about them, meaning your audience, right? So what is that with regards to your corporate space? What is the vision of it? Because here's why you really, really need to hone this in. When you understand what the vision is for your business, for the corporate space, for the corporate brand, you then get to share that company wide. And when people understand what that vision is, everybody now knows what they need to work towards. Essentially, it's your goal, right? And you could only move forwards when you do have a goal. You can only move forwards with motivation and with purpose when you understand what that goal is, right? So that goal, that vision, whatever that may be, needs to be shared company-wide. So when it comes to your brand, especially, right, that vision needs to be showcased. That vision needs to be reminded consistently. Now, you know, I've spoken about this before, the idea of repetition equals reputation. Well, in this sense, it's all about repetition equals consistency as well, okay? So when you do the sharing of the vision, everybody within your team, everybody within your space now knows what this business or this corporate space is going to be working towards. So that vision needs to be made sure, made clear, made apparent as much as possible, okay? The second thing that you really, really need to make sure is super clear, company-wide again. That's the idea of your values. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Tan, values again. Values, values, values. We know our values. Okay, that's great. You know your values, but does your company know your values? Does even your audience know your values? Because here's why. Again, similarly to like the idea of your vision, right? If people, or if your company or if your team do not understand what your values are as well, how will they know what standards to be working towards, right? They need to be able to appreciate what your values are so that that vision can then become apparent. That vision can then be also a reality. So with your values. Remember, I've said to you guys before, your vision, your values, in fact, always lead with them, because they will help to drive your business. They will help to drive the branding within your corporate space, especially. And things or examples as to how you can go about doing so, obviously share it in an email. If you're talking about a specific person who's come up in the space, right, or who's made some really cool changes within your corporate space, highlight them, talk about them, or even spotlight them, right? Or because they've actually resonated with one of the values and they're actually practicing the values, and more importantly, they're actually actioning the values. And another example is, why not put them in posters, right? The outcome of a brand is a poster. That's a form of one, or a roller banner, or shouting it out on your website, or shouting it out in your internal intranet, right? So when you're using your posters, showcase them, illustrate them, have fun with them, put them about your business space, put them about your corporate space, in fact. Even have them in boardroom meetings. So when you're having talks with clients, your clients can then start seeing them. Your clients can also start resonating with them because they now get it as well. They now get your passion, they now get your drive, and they now get what it is and why it is that you do what you do. So there we go, folks. That's essentially it. And I know there's different ways to go ahead and approach the idea of corporate branding, but I always want to make sure that in any particular brand, corporate, business in general, right, or even personal, you always touch base on the vision. You always touch base on the values. And equally, the idea of purpose comes into play all the more easier because you get it. You know how to make those moves. You know exactly the directive route that you want to make sure that you take so your audience gets it, your team gets it, company-wide, not just internally for the C-suite, right? Everybody gets it. And that's the importance, to be able to make sure that your brand travels and goes on a journey beyond your space, beyond your corporate space. So there we go, folks. I'm going to leave it there. I hope this video once again really resonated with you. And as always, here we go. This is my gift from me to you. I want to make sure that you're tapping into my guide. My guide is my gift from me to you, as I said to you just now. And within this guide, you're going to understand exactly what to do and what to make sure that you are ticking off on your to-do list when it comes to resonating with the idea of your brand, or realizing, or even re-realizing what your brand should be. This particular guide is going to be super game-changing for you, simply because you will have a hell of a lot more certainty about what it is that you stand for, why it is that you stand for, and actually who you really do serve as well. So folks, go ahead and tap into that. If you especially want to know how to make better connections with the audience that you want to work with, you will download this guide. So all you need to do is just go ahead and click on the link in the description box below, fill in a few details, very short details, and we'll do, our team will literally go ahead and fire our document over to you so that you can get all the goodies that you need from it. And folks, please make sure that you go ahead and share your comments about it as well, because I'd love to hear from you. And once again, please make sure that you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. And folks, I will see you on the other side.